The morning sun was streaming into the quiet residential neighborhood of the Dublin district. Among the neatly lined white colonial-style houses, Hayley Brown was watering her tulips in the garden as usual. Her shoulder-length brown hair swayed in the morning breeze, and her gentle smile invited greetings from the neighborhood children. At 34, Hayley worked as an office manager at a local pediatric clinic. Her caring and discerning nature earned her the deep trust of patients' families. With her warm way of speaking, she could always put anxious children at ease. Her husband Michael was thriving as a chief architect at a design firm. His sincere and family-oriented personality hadn't changed even after 5 years of marriage. Their life was stable, and they always made sure to spend time together as a family on weekends. However, recently, a small worry had been growing in Hayley's heart. She was concerned about her sister-in-law Ashley's condition. Usually bright and sociable, Ashley had started showing signs of fatigue lately. Working as a part-time supermarket clerk while in her 3rd year of marriage, Ashley seemed like she was being chased by something. Ashley's husband and Michael's brother, Ryan, had also changed. Working as a construction worker, he was known for his quiet but serious personality, but things had been different these past few months. Rumors had reached their ears that his work had become unstable and his income had decreased. Their daughter Rachel had grown into a bright and honest 7-year-old girl. She excelled at art in school and always created wonderful pieces. However, lately, she had been showing expressions of concern about her parents' situation more frequently. The weekly family dinners were once lively gatherings. However, her sister-in-law's family's participation had gradually decreased, and recently they rarely showed their faces. Instead, Rachel alone had been visiting Hayley's house more often. In contrast to Hayley and her husband's stable income and comfortable life, her sister-in-law's family's financial situation had been growing more severe. There were rumors that they were struggling with medical bill payments and falling behind on their mortgage payments. Whispers about late credit card payments had also started circulating in the neighborhood. As Hayley finished her gardening, she reflected on recent events. At yesterday's dinner too, Ashley had looked like she wanted to say something but ended up leaving without speaking. With Michael away on a business trip this weekend, she had been thinking about what she could do to help when the phone rang. The name displayed was Ashley. Hayley paused her garden work to answer the phone. "Hayley, I'm sorry to call so early in the morning." Ashley's voice on the other end was higher than usual and somewhat flustered. "Something urgent came up. Could you come over today to look after Rachel?" There was something pressing in her voice. Ashley, who would usually explain things in detail, was trying to be vague today. "Of course. Michael's away on his business trip, and I was just thinking it would be nice to spend time with someone." Though feeling uneasy, Hayley responded cheerfully. "Really? Thank you. It would be a great help if you could come around 10 o'clock. The call ended abruptly. As she put down her phone, Hayley frowned. Ashley's demeanor suggested something more alarming than her recent tired appearance. At 10 a.m., she headed to Ashley's house as promised. "I'm really sorry. I'll be back by evening." Ashley hurriedly left these words at the doorstep and rushed to her car without their usual chat. As Haley was about to wave goodbye, she caught Rachel's eye. There was a shadow of something unspoken in the little girl's expression. Entering the house, Rachel quietly sat on the living room sofa. Her usually energetic niece seemed oddly mature today. Though feeling unsettled, Haley spoke to her brightly. "Rachel, what would you like for lunch?" "Auntie, Mom's been crying a lot lately." Stunned by the sudden confession, Haley was at a loss for words. Rachel was clutching her small hands in her lap. "Dad and Mom always argue in quiet voices at night. But when they notice I'm awake, they suddenly start smiling." Haley sat next to her niece and gently put an arm around her shoulders. "I see. That must have been hard for you." "Yes. But I'm happy because I get to make cookies with you today." Rachel's expression brightened a little. Her smile made Haley's heart ache. Around 2 p.m., they were standing in the kitchen. While making chocolate chip cookie dough, Rachel happily chatted about school. However, Haley couldn't ignore the unsettling feeling about the house. The family photos near the entrance were missing. The expensive vase that should have been in the living room was gone too. It was as if valuable items were being gradually cleared away. "Auntie." Rachel's voice interrupted Haley's thoughts. "This room smells like gas, my head hurts." In that instant, a chill ran down Haley's spine. Indeed, there was a faint but unusual smell. And from the back of the kitchen came what sounded like a mechanical noise. The sound was like a timer. Haley instinctively grabbed her mobile phone. There was no time to hesitate. "Rachel, let's get outside right now." With trembling fingers pressing 911, Haley firmly held her niece's hand. As they headed toward the entrance, the strange sound from the kitchen grew louder. When they got outside, the spring air enveloped them. However, Haley's back remained frozen. The operator's calm voice echoed through the phone. 911, emergency services. What's your emergency? Dublin District, 1423 Maple Street. There's a gas smell inside the house. And there's a suspicious sound from the kitchen. Haley explained the situation while trying to control her shaking voice. Rachel remained silent, clutching her aunt's hand. "We're dispatching fire and police units immediately. Please move away from the location and wait in a safe place." After hanging up, Haley looked around at the neighboring houses. On this Sunday afternoon, a tense atmosphere had begun to settle over the quiet residential street. The sound of sirens approached from the distance. Holding Rachel close, Haley looked up at the sky with a prayer-like feeling. Then she stared at the incoming call from Ashley, displayed on her phone screen. Her fingers trembled. As she wondered whether to answer, a police car stopped in front of them. A fire truck arrived next, and officers quickly began securing the scene. In Haley's mind, Ashley's hurried manner from this morning replayed. And all the missing photos and valuables from the house. Had everything been prepared for this moment? Rachel whispered in a small voice. "Auntie, I'm scared." Haley held her niece tighter. By 3 p.m., Maple Street was awash with emergency vehicle sirens and blue lights. Neighbors had come out of their houses to watch the situation. 3 police cars, 2 fire trucks, and a gas company emergency vehicle had arrived, and the scene was quickly cordoned off. "Mrs. Brown. I'm Detective David Morrison." A tall, middle-aged detective stepped forward from among the officers. His gray suit carried an air of calm authority. "Could you tell me more about the gas leak report and the suspicious sound?" Still holding Rachel's hand, Haley began explaining the morning's events. Ashley's sudden phone call, her unusual behavior, the unsettling feeling about the house. As she spoke, all the events took on an ominous meaning. About the sound from the kitchen. However, Detective Morrison's question was interrupted. A white SUV was approaching the scene at high speed. Haley turned around. Ryan was driving, with Ashley in the passenger seat. Their expressions tensed as they saw the scene surrounded by police cars. Officers immediately surrounded them. Sweat beaded on Ryan's pale face. Ashley was already in tears as she got out of the car. Haley instinctively embraced Rachel. Ashley's gaze turned toward them, her eyes swirling with indescribable emotions. "Ma'am, would it be all right if we take your child to a separate room?" A female officer spoke gently. They probably needed to separate the adults for questioning. Rachel looked up at Haley anxiously. "It's okay. Your safety is what matters most." Haley smiled, though her heart was churning with complex emotions. As she watched Rachel get into the patrol car with the female officer, the questioning of Ashley and Ryan began. "Why did you return in such a hurry?" Detective Morrison's voice inquired quietly. "We got a call about a gas leak." Ryan's voice was trembling. Beside him, Ashley kept her face covered with both hands. "But the report came from Haley here, didn't it?" At the detective's pursuit, their expressions tightened. A young officer hurried over. His expression suggested a significant discovery. Detective Morrison reviewed the report, then slowly turned back to Ashley and Ryan. "We found signs of deliberate tampering with the gas line." At those words, the air around them froze. Ashley let out a small cry, and the color drained from Ryan's face. "Both of you will need to come to the station for questioning." As officers began handcuffing them, Haley's phone rang. The screen showed Michael. Her husband at his business trip location still knew nothing about this. During the investigation, Rachel would be protected at Haley's home. "Auntie, did Dad and Mom do something bad?" That night, Rachel asked timidly. All Haley could do was gently embrace her niece's small body. A week after the incident, a heavy atmosphere hung over the conference room at the Columbus Police Station. Thick investigation files were stacked in front of Detective Morrison. Michael and Haley waited for the detective's report. The gas line tampering was clearly premeditated. The detective showed them photographs. Fine scratch marks remained on the kitchen pipes. "This isn't amateur work. It's the work of someone with construction experience." At those words, Michael's expression hardened. The fact that his own brother had tried to endanger his family was still hard to accept. And this is the contract obtained from the insurance company. The document the detective produced detailed a fire insurance contract signed 3 months ago. The insured amount was $3 million. An abnormally high contract. Normally, such high-value contracts require careful scrutiny. However, this contract was approved at an unusual speed. Haley frowned while reviewing the documents. The insurance agent's name seemed familiar somehow. The following week, the investigation showed further developments. The two were called back to the police station by the detective. This time, a financial investigator was also present. The investigation of Ashley and Ryan's deposits revealed serious issues. The computer screen displayed transaction histories from multiple bank accounts. Over the past 6 months, there have been withdrawals totaling $450,000. Most appear to be payments to an illegal moneylender. The financial investigator's explanation made the air in the conference room heavier. Furthermore, Ryan has $250,000 in gambling debts. Ashley has $200,000 in medical debt, and a foreclosure notice had been issued on their home loan. The weight of the numbers told the whole story. The desperate couple's final resort had been insurance fraud. The investigation into the problematic insurance agency is also progressing. Multiple fraudulent contracts have been discovered, and the FBI will be joining the investigation. Just then, there was a knock on the conference room door. "Detective, new evidence has been found." A young detective presented a photograph. It showed Ryan at a nearby gas station on the morning of the incident, captured by security cameras. He was carrying an unnaturally large bag. It's believed to contain parts for a timer-triggered ignition device. All evidence pointed to a planned crime. There's one more concerning point. The detective chose his words carefully. 3 days before the incident, Ashley's social media suddenly increased with posts about their happy family. Almost as if creating an alibi. Haley quietly completed the sentence. Why go to such lengths with a plan that involved their niece? That night, Haley watched Rachel's sleeping face in her living room. Today again, the girl had shown her art project from school. Her attempt to act cheerful made Haley's heart ache. A few days later, before dawn, a line of black SUVs quietly arrived on Maple Street. A joint team of FBI and local police silently took their positions. Ashley and Ryan had been hiding in a motel. Special units deployed to surround their room. Open the door. At the sudden call, light came on in the motel room. After a few seconds of silence, the door slowly opened. Hands up, slowly come outside. Ryan appeared first. Gone was any trace of the proud construction worker. He raised his hands with an exhausted expression. Ashley followed. Her eyes were already wet with tears. Ryan Brown, Ashley Brown. You are under arrest on suspicion of attempted murder and attempted insurance fraud. The sound of handcuffs shook the pre-dawn air. In the police station interrogation room, Evidence seized from the motel was spread across the table. Tools used for the tampering, insurance documents, and debt statements. Everything told the story of a planned crime. Why go to such lengths? To Detective Morrison's question, Ashley began answering through tears. We had no choice. Being chased by debt collectors every day. But what about Rachel? That child believed in you. Haley suddenly entered the room, having been listening from next door. Ashley's voice trembled. If only you hadn't reported it. That's not what protecting family means. There was strong resolve in Haley's voice. Ryan muttered in a small voice, head down. This was the only way to pay back the debts. 6 months later, gentle spring sunlight filtered into the courthouse hallway. Ryan had just been sentenced to 12 years in prison, Ashley to 8 years. Both received slight reductions in their sentences on the condition of participating in rehabilitation programs. A letter from Rachel. Ashley received the envelope with trembling hands from the guard. The monthly permitted letter exchange. The girls' heartfelt words were becoming motivation to atone for their crimes. Meanwhile, Haley and Michael had officially obtained temporary custody of Rachel. The girl had adapted to her new school and was receiving high praise from her art teacher. "Auntie, look." On a holiday in the park, Rachel showed them a picture she had drawn. It showed Haley, Michael, and Rachel holding hands and smiling. What a lovely picture. In the evening twilight, while cleaning up after their picnic, Haley looked up at the sky. Family sometimes faces difficult choices. But with true love, the right path will always be found. Watching Rachel laugh innocently, Haley continued quietly. Rachel, your smile is our hope. The incident had a significant impact on the local community. Support programs for those in financial distress were enhanced, and awareness activities to prevent similar incidents began. Above all, this event questioned the true meaning of family bonds. Family isn't just about blood ties. It's the heart that cares for and supports each other that creates a true family. As the first star began to shine in the night sky, warm light spilled from the windows of Haley's house. The story of their new family was about to begin again.